What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Here to bring you a video on Sabrina Ionescu's record-setting night. Let's talk about it. So, Sabrina Ionescu, third-year New York Liberty guard, set a record. She didn't break nothing. She set a record for the first WNBA player to have 500 points, 200 rebounds, or 200 assists in one season. Fantastic news, man. But it's not surprising. Back in her Oregon days, I did a video on her, I think maybe draft night, on her draft night in 2020 draft. She was the most offensive client WNBA player I've ever seen in my life. So her setting records like this, not breaking as I said, but setting records. She's gonna set a whole lot of records in her career, or hopefully her long career. If she wants it to be long, yeah, she's gonna set a bunch of records. That's gonna be hard to break. She's a great player. The New York Liberty were blessed to get her, but in the same token, they're wasting her talents. Last night she broke the record within 30 seconds of the game with an assist, but the game wasn't close, and they needed that game a lot last night. Very key, very important game. They need to beat the Mercury to try to get one of the last playoff spots. They couldn't do that. They lost 76-62, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, the game was never really that close. Diamond, the Shields dropped 25. Shea Betty dropped 20, and they just routed them really. And that's the thing with Ionescu. Her career so far has been great moments, great stat lines, great nights, but you'll catch them in losses most of the time. If you're a New York Liberty fan or a Sabrina Ionescu fan, you're gonna get a whole lot of losses with some great nights, with some great moments, and that's the sucky part. Being drafted first overall or high in draft, as we all know, normally you go to a bad team. You know what I'm saying? So uh, those moments right now are being wasted to a certain degree because they're not going for winning situations. They're not going to be for winning teams. So I can't wait for her to potentially bring more talent to New York, or to her to go somewhere else where the talent is and really, really shine and get her just due. Because as we know, in most leagues, multiple sports, when you're on a bad team putting up great numbers, it's cool, it's great, it's awesome. But when you're doing it on a great team, this one is really solidified. Not solidified, but it's really cared for. It's really, shown as much light as it should be. She's in New York in a big market, but at the same time, it's WNBA. So the market isn't that big for this sport. But she is definitely, her name is definitely ringing bells in the WNBA community, obviously, as it has been since college. But she lived up to the hype. Definitely lived up to the hype. She's been fantastic. Really, her second year, or at least playing time wise. I know people always say, okay, you lose 1 year, you really a second year or third year player, whatever. But you get the experience of not being on the court. You get the knowledge. You get the you get the feel for it. You get certain things you don't get in college, even though you're sitting for a whole year. She sat most of her first year. She played 3 games that was cut very, very short. I remember that year. I was very upset that her season was cut short because she had I think a grade 3 high ankle sprain. And even though she wasn't playing after that third game, she still got the experience and soak up the experience and knowledge of being around pro players. So yeah, playing wise, you got to, me personally, you got to distinguish play wise. Yes, she's a second year guard basically, but knowledge wise, she has a knowledge of a third year guard. So, and everyone can't make the knowledge come on the court with them. She definitely did and has. You can tell the way she plays, high IQ. She always has had, but there is an adjustment period you have to make from the college to the pros. She did that effortlessly, so no problem there with her. But yeah, her great moments. She gonna set a lot of records. She gonna break a lot of records too. But the only thing is she gonna win with it? And winning isn't what matters all the time. But man, you want to really, if you're a player like her, you want to put up great numbers and win sometimes too. Make a playoff berth. Go deep in the playoffs. If not win it all, at least be competitive. And right now, her winning isn't making the Liberty competitive because it was all around her. So Overall, like I said, great accomplishment. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but great accomplishment. Don't get that twisted. It's just, man, I know for her, or I would assume, I don't know, but I would assume for her, like, man, if I could really, bring something with me to New York, help me get us to the next level, make us consistent playoff team and things of that nature, maybe, her star will rise even greater than what it is. And the accomplishments will be more out there as they should be, But like I said, it'll come in time. She's still young, only 24, third year, technically, play wise, her second year. So it's gonna time's gonna change. She'll add talent to New York. If not, she'll go somewhere else. Most likely, I'm sure. Most players won't stay in a losing situation for too much longer, or for too long. So, the Liberty will get better, hopefully, or she'll go somewhere else and the star will shine even brighter in New York or somewhere else. So either way, I expect her to put up more numbers just like this. I expect nothing differently, man. And congrats to her. I meant to say that at the top of the video. Congrats to her for making history. It's hard to come in, the league been around for so long now. It's hard for people to, on any sport, to come in somewhere that's already been established for years and you to break history. Or, excuse me, make history, not break it, and make history in a positive way, you know. And she's been, like I said, she's been phenomenal. Hitting game winners the last couple years. Like I said, big plays, big moments, big scoring outputs. I've been seeing them all. I don't cover the WNBA like I want to or like I should. I was more on it last year than I was this year, but I definitely been keeping up with it. And like I said, she's had a pretty good career so far for the first 2 years. Well, three, but really 2 years playing. She's been phenomenal. The Liberty couldn't really ask for much more from her, So all in all, man, great performance. But that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Here to bring you a video on Sabrina Ionescu's record-setting night. Let's talk about it. So Sabrina Ionescu, third-year New York Liberty guard, set a record. She didn't break nothing. She set a record for the first WNBA player to have 500 points, 200 rebounds, or 200 assists in one season. Fantastic news, man. But it's not surprising. Back in her Oregon days, I did a video on her, I think maybe on her draft night in 2020 draft. She was the most offensive client WNBA player I've ever seen in my life. So her setting records like this, not breaking as I said, but setting records. She's gonna set a whole lot of records in her career, or hopefully her long career. If she wants it to be long, yeah, she's gonna set a bunch of records. That's gonna be hard to break. She's a great player. The New York Liberty were blessed to get her, but in the same token, they're wasting her talents.